Looking for some new podcasts to listen to? Well, Rat Salad Review Network has plenty of shows to choose from. Like Rat Salad Review, where they discuss the latest rock and metal news, as well as interviews and albums. Album versus Album, the King Diamond Podcast, with Wayne Noon, Greg Noggle, and sometimes this guy.
Smack 'em a gob!
Ralph Vieira is also on our network with the Vieira Vault. There's also Old Man Metal's Musings, where he discusses heavy metal and beer. Music is Life with Lou Mavs. The Right Opinion for those who love politics. A South Park podcast called Suck My Balls. The Infinite Fringe, a watch-along wrestling show called Beyond Bushido. Ex-Stradivarius guitarist, the Timo Tolkki podcast. And the Great Harry Barnett with I Don't Even Like Podcasts. So check out ratsaladreview.com or search Rat Salad Review on YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and more.
So in case anyone's curious why this is the intro, it's because I just showed Wayne and Nate the footage from the Scumdogs of the Universe tour, the video that they showed behind them when they were playing Black and Huge. And I think I just traumatized them for life.
No, I find that fucking hysterical.
It's hysterical, but it's very...
I've seen
gross.
2 Girls, 1 Cup. That's the real version of that.
Yeah, that's the real version.
That's going to disturb me.
Yeah.
Well, I know 2 Girls, 1 Cup is probably not available on YouTube, but Black and Huge is, so go watch it.
Go watch it and...
You're watching and listening to the Rat Salad Review Network. There's your intro, Wayne.
Spectacle is on tour. Soon they're coming to your town. And now MTV is running a Gwar-sized contest. Send in your postcards today and you could win the chance to sacrifice your daughter to Gwar.
Well, I wonder who that could be.
Guess who's safe?
It's Gwar! We've come for your daughter.
We've never won anything before.
Where's the girl?
She's upstairs, follow me! But then she says, and I'm like...
Your whole family will be picked up in a limo and driven to Gwar's show. There you'll be the toast of the evening as your very own flesh and blood is honored on stage. And we'll even throw in 3 commemorative t-shirts your family will cherish for years. So send your postcards today. And who knows, your little darling might end up as...
Don't give them a sword and then don't let them use it. We'll send them to war and then make them lose it. This is a bomb, don't want to defuse it. That is the answer, go on and choose it. Let them slay, let them slay. Let them slay, let them slay. Let them slay, let them slay. The last of blood won't go away. Let them slay, let them slay. Let them slay, let them slay. Let them slay, let them slay. It is the hour of calamity, and I see this with perfect clarity. There never was an illusion of parity. I've got no time for your crippled Christ. The crippled Christ, the crippled Christ. I do believe it's almost time. You're always calling for the sacrifice, and the body count is very nice. Lie after lie, lie, lie. I do believe it's time to die.
That review. We are on part 2 of Gwar. Gwar.
Gwar Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
What I like about this book is it has, what do you call this, a lenticular thing? What do you call that? Where it moves.
Ripley's Belief.
Holographic?
Holographic, yes, thank you. But it has like 3 different versions of the band. It has like the Scumdogs, and it has the, what the hell's the other one? Scumdogs?
Was that the Hello version? No.
No, the Hello one ain't on here. But it has the new Gwar, and then it has like 2 other versions with Brockie.
Oh, that's the Beyond Hell version.
Yes, it might be the Beyond Hell version. Yes, that's what that is. But that's a very cool cover. So anyway, very cool band. One of the greatest bands ever. Gwar. Violence
On
has
the
arrived.
first comeback album, Violence Has Arrived, one of the first modern thrash albums to be released of the modern
Yes.
wave of thrash metal, started during the Bush administration. 2001 was the breakout year.
This is going to be Nate's era of Gwar.
This is what I know.
This is what you know. This is where you started.
Gwar is extremely relevant in all of this, because not only did Municipal Waste put out their first release that year, so did Ghoul and Toxic Holocaust, I think. So that's really the start of the modern thrash movement, and they all toured with Gwar extensively. Ghoul,
Really?
they all still tour with Gwar.
Really?
Yeah,
I think you can find them at every barbecue. So
yeah.
Well, also too, what happened with Gwar is they started to do less of like a lot of the art students that used to work with Gwar. They kind of lessened that a little bit on when they started back up again. I guess just to get away from the silliness, and then also too, a lot of the people, like you mentioned on the last episode, Lou, a lot of the people retired from the band. Slimestra Hyman and a couple of people.
Executioner and
Sleazy P kind of left for a while as well.
And Hunter Jackson.
Yep. So it kind of almost like starting over again. When I saw this album, I said, "Oh shit, a new Gwar album! Thank God!" It looks kind of heavy. I mean, it's really great artwork on the front cover.
Yeah.
And you can just tell by the front cover, this album has to be brutal, because I've never seen Gwar this brutal. You know, like like on like an album cover or something. Usually it's been like goofy or whatever, but with this you could just see that they're just here to really they're more about the music on this album, I'm going to say. There's no stories really, there's no like nothing. This is just music on this album.
Yeah, I can tell you right now that at the time that this came out, on Metal Blade Records, Roadrunner, Nuclear Blast, even Relapse at the time, they were coming up with some, great metal bands, especially Metal Blade, Nuclear, and Relapse. And I felt like Metal Blade was at the top of that heap. Mm-hmm. But the thing was, though, that Roadrunner was the biggest name because at the time they had Cold Chamber, who I despised, still do to this day, Fear Factory, Slipknot, and Nickelback. So at the time, Roadrunner was they were the ones who were selling the most records. But, again, Metal Blade had this one band out of Richmond, Virginia called Lamb of God, who was making waves in the metal underground. And to me, all it took was this album by Gwar to say, you know what? Metal Blade's doing it right.
Yeah.
And Gwar did it right. So kudos to both of them.
I'm going to Drake Records for early 2000s labels, first of all. But, yeah, Gwar really did do it right. Fuck, I forgot the other thing I was going to say. Yeah. I mean, Relapse Records can never do it right. All they do is profit off of Death Relapse.
Right. Well, it seems to be the thing going
Relapse, where
every
all
day.
great bands go to die.
But when I first saw this Gwar album, what were you saying, Lou?
I was going to say, I like the way they repackaged the Razor albums. Because I think they were all released on Relapse.
Yeah, that's
or re-released on Relapse.
Yeah, I think I have that version of Violent Restitution, actually.
Mm-hmm. But I like Relapse. I mean, at the time, they had 2001, they had Dillinger, they had Amorphous. I was happy with what Relapse was putting out, but to me, it's just Gwar coming out with Violence Has Arrived made me say, you know what? Got to give them another chance. They stepped up their game. So,
yeah, I never gave up though. I always stuck with Gwar, no matter what. Even though
I didn't give up on them either. It's just it's like they teetered downwards and then they went back upwards. I did stay with them. Don't think that.
Yeah. Well,
one
person
did, got into them at the bottom of the curve, dude.
Yeah. One person did give up on them, and then on the show, who our usual co-host is Greg. Shame on you, Greg. That's why he's not on the show today, because he kind of got out of Gwar.
He got out of Gwar?
Yep, he got tired of Gwar. You believe that?
One simply does not get out of Gwar.
And that's what I said. You're
I love
insane.
Gwar.
So, fuck you, Greg.
Oh, ooh. I didn't say that, Greg. Wayne did.
But actually, when I first saw this, I said, all right, great, new Gwar album. Put it in a CD player, in the car. And I was almost like, what the fuck is this? I honestly did not like this Gwar.
I don't know you anymore.
It's not the best of the new ones.
It's not the best.
It's better than the last 4 albums.
Right. It was better. Well, it was better than the last 2 Gwar albums. But one thing that really bothered me was the production on this album is god awful.
The production is terrible.
Terrible. You can't hear what Brockie's saying whatsoever. The music seems a little too. It's just everything is just too much music. I don't know. The just instruments aren't mixed correctly. I don't know what it is, but everything it just sounds like a big wall sound. What?
Early 2000s sound wall trauma.
Yeah, it's just too much, and
everything's all loud,
all time. And also too, it lost a lot of. There was obviously, because this is a brutal Gwar album. There's nothing whatsoever to be funny on this album, even though some of the lyrics are funny, but you really can't tell because it's like buried in the mix. And I was missing that. There's no catchy choruses. None of the catchy Gwar stuff that I really loved about Gwar on this album. And that's what really hurts me on this album. To listen to it.
However, they still play Immortal Corruptor to this day, so that's a song that stayed in their set list.
Right.
That is a great song. That is the best song off this album. But I mean, I always found the violent aspect of Gwar to be funny, so ramping up the violence I find hysterical.
Yeah, I could see going to the concert and them doing songs over this album and then acting all the stuff out on the stage. It'll work that way. But listening to it on the album and trying to get that vision in your head does not work for me on this.
I don't know. It reminds me of Exodus by Exodus.
No, that don't remind me of that at all. But this album is probably my least favorite Gwar album.
Really?
Yeah.
After We Kill Everything.
I at least like one song off of We Kill Everything.
You don't even like Happy Death Day or Bloodlust?
It's just I don't even remember them. They just are not memorable.
Too.
Huh?
The Song of Words I like too.
Oh,
that was a weird one though. Yeah. But we did play Happy Death Day on our college radio station because I think I actually did not have any curse words, so we were able to. Which one's the one where he's like the history of Gwar? Which one is that where he's like talking about the history? Is that the last song? No, the Song of Words. Oh, yeah. All right, that's the only one I like. But I don't even like it that much because it's not memorable to me, not at all.
Yeah, but it's like better than.
It's better than the last 2 albums, yes. And music's it's heavy, thrashy. If you want like heavy and thrash, you're gonna love this album. But if you want to hear some catchy stuff from Gwar, like you would normally hear, it's not on this.
Yeah, it doesn't have the hook. It is a bit stock as far as thrash goes. Right. I would say that they hadn't really rediscovered their like hook,
Yeah, it's just completely.
Scumdogs is thrashy as hell as well, but that's
right.
Not catchy shit on it.
All the catchy shit is on there,
and with that, we give it the rating of. I give it a 7.5.
I give it a 7.5 because it showed the direction that they were supposed to go, and I guess you could say it was baby steps towards what would come next.
Yeah.
Which, Nate, I guess we could say was amazing.
We're moving on to War Party.
War Party. I'm not even going to grade the other one.
Fucking awesome.
War Party. And I agree with Nate, too. This is where they finally realized, yes, you can do the thrashy stuff, and yes, you can throw the catchy stuff in there as well.
And really technically proficient, too.
Yes. The way they were, like, really thrashy, very technical on this album, too. Like the Cross Sticker. I mean, that's a total ripoff of Megadeth.
Oh, and the title track too. How that's just groovy as hell.
Yeah.
Like the bridges on that are awesome. Bring Back the Bomb.
Yeah.
And then like that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on this. They finally got their shit together on this one.
Womb with a View is hysterical. I love
yes, that is a good one.
I mean, Womb with a View is probably my favorite track on the album, but you got to, I would say the three best songs on here for me are Bring Back the Bomb, Womb with a View, and I really enjoyed Fistful of Teeth because it was a good experiment, and it was the first time that they dedicated a song to somebody live. After Dimebag Darrell was shot in Ohio, video was posted on YouTube. Gwar performed this song as their encore without any makeup or without any costumes, and they performed this as a dedication to Dimebag, which I thought was really cool, and that's why I think it resonates so much with me because Dimebag's one of my heroes.
Yeah.
You didn't like War? You didn't like the song War Party?
War Party's a great song. I think it's their best song like that until like Beat You to Death.
Yeah. Oh, another thing was that I wanted to mention with Violence Has Arrived. On the insert on the back album cover, they actually revealed who was in the band, like with the real names. They never did that before.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very strange. I don't know why they did it.
So they actually have Dave Brockie, Mike Dirks, Brad Roberts, Casey Orr, and Zach Blair on there.
God damn, Lou. You are spot on.
I know my shit.
Fucking nerd.
Thank you. By the way, the significance also of War Party is that it's the debut of the character Bone Snapper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who is not a turtle. He's a cave troll. But on this tour, he was Gwar's bitch because he killed him every night.
He's a turtle.
He is a turtle.
The goddamn turtle. He's Gamera. Come on.
He's Gamera.
He's got Gamera's fucking head and teeth. You think he's not Gamera? Come on.
Well, Nate, all I know it's not easy being green.
War fighting Gamera is great.
I thought they would have a picture of him in the album.
He looks like Gamera and he sounds like Godzilla's son Minya. Quack, quack.
But yeah,
always tells me to trust my feelings.
Oh my god, don't quote Godzilla's Revenge, please. That movie kills me nightmares.
That movie is a treasure. So awful. It's so dumb.
It's the Grindhouse film to end all Grindhouse kaiju films.
But I was very happy with Going Back to War.
What the fuck?
And it was their first album not on Metal Blade. It was on a New York upstart label, DRT, who went bankrupt by the time their second album came out.
Yeah. Oh, shit. There was something else that... there was a good thing that it's... crap. I think DRT, I'm trying to remember now from the book, when they got, like you just said, they went bankrupt. And when they signed, they were supposed to re-release some of the older albums, and then they would give them... the rights to the albums, and then somehow something got screwed up. It was something in the contract or whatever, so that something got screwed up, and then it ended up not happening. Which is why they had to release the Live from Mount Fuji, which wasn't really from Mount Fuji.
No, it was from, I forget where it was, but it was definitely somewhere in the States.
Yeah, some place I can't remember.
Mount Fuji, Nebraska.
Probably.
And big respect to the guitar team of Mike Dirks and Corey Smoot.
Yeah.
Who I would say was definitely the first ever, real Gwar guitar lineup.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
they're a fucking underrated guitar team.
Yeah. No disrespect to Pete Lee, but, I mean, Corey Smoot was flattest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. Like we said earlier, that Gwar has now finally gotten back to kicking ass, and after that album, they put out Beyond Hell.
I love it.
It's do good. Not love Beyond what? It's good. This is probably my favorite Gwar album of this. The second wave of Gwar. I mean, it's awesome. It's produced by
Devin Townsend.
Townsend, yep.
And you can tell he definitely had his hand in producing that because, that's him on Tormentor and Back in Crack.
Yeah.
And those are two of my favorite songs from Gwar. So I'd have to say that this is my favorite Gwar album of the 2000 to 2009 era.
Yeah, I think so too. Just the production itself is just very crystal clear. Everything it's
great.
heavy. The production is great. Yes.
It's amazing how Devin Townsend produced two of my favorite albums, that and Natural Born Chaos by Soilwork. So that's
really?
good stuff.
I mean, War is great. Tormentor. I mean,
Torment is awesome.
The Ultimate Bohab.
War is All We Know. Go to Hell is a really cool song.
Cool too.
I can't pronounce this. 8 Block. That's a really cool one.
Yeah. School's Out, probably not my favorite Gwar cover.
No?
No. It's probably my least favorite Gwar cover because it's their least funny. Like, I like Gwar covers to be, like, inherently funny. Like, that's why Carry On My Wayward Son is so great.
Or even better, their West End Girls cover.
Car is awesome.
What would you say?
Them covering Get in My Car by Billy Ocean.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that was funny. But I love the booklet on this one too, because it opens up into like this whole big thing here, like this big gross looking thing. Then it has like a big poster, like a lot of their albums have. I don't know, this album just they put a lot of work onto this album, I think.
They did, even to the characters, Jitler and Jucifer.
Yeah, they did a lot of good shit on this album. One of my favorites, I'm gonna say, what would I rank this one? I'm gonna give this one like an 8 at least.
10 for me. 10 for me.
10 for you? Mm-hmm. Well, it's definitely.
I can give it an 8. Or maybe I don't know. I'm gonna give a War Party a 9 though. I forgot to look at that.
That's all right. We're not really rating them. It's just.
I know. Yeah, I'll give that like a 7.5 to an 8.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's one of my favorite ones. What the hell's next?
That would be Lost in Space.
Lost in Space.
Lost in Space. Fuck yes.
Now,
the album cover an homage to Love Gun from Kiss.
Yes.
And their return to Metal Blade Records.
That's right. This now again, to me, Nate. Well, Nate disappeared.
Where'd he go?
There you
are. Oh. Nate, you say you love this album.
I fucking love this album. This album's a great balance of like not heavy, but just like Motorhead type shit and like the humorous part of Gwar. Like it's not their heaviest album, but every song is catchy as hell.
There's some good ones on here, but
I love Let Us Slay. The Uber Club is cool.
Yeah.
Damn Under God is cool. The title track is cool. I love Lords and Masters. Metal Land is by far my favorite song on this album.
Yeah, it is.
I fucking love Metal Land. That's in my top 5 favorite Gwar songs.
Yeah.
The lyrics, some of my favorite Dave Brockie's ever written. Prince of Peace is cool. I love Where Is Zog.
Well, that one I think is stupid.
Where is Zog? I love Make a Child Cry.
Yes.
I feel like this is the album that should have been between America Must Be Destroyed and War Party. Because I think it's actually their perfect blend of, metal and comedy.
Mm. Yeah.
It's really the blend of new Gwar.
But Let Us Slay is a brutal freaking song. I love it.
I love that song.
It's an awesome song.
And it's probably their best video in just like wacky shit that got actually made into TV,
Yeah, that was played on Headbangers Ball a lot. That and War Party, I remember.
Oh, there's a picture of
when it returned. But that's also the start of the whole Gwar comic book kind of stuff too. And I always thought it fit well. I mean, I've got the Orgasmageddon shirt, so.
Did you get the comic?
No, I don't have the comic.
I was going to start getting them, but I knew it was going to be just like comic after comic every week, and I was just like, no, I'm not going to do that.
I just read it online. I don't need the extra shit around.
Yeah.
Like,
The only extra Gwar thing I have, I don't know what company it is. I don't have. They're all way over there in the corner. But they put out 2 figures, and it was Gwar, Odorous Arungus, and Balzac.
Cool.
So
Yeah, but I love Lust in Space. I'm giving this a 9 as well.
see, to me, I don't know. There are good songs on here, but it started to dip down again for me, especially coming from Beyond Hell, which I love that album. This one, for some reason, started to dip down with the songs a little bit.
See, Beyond Hell for me, it kind of compared to this one, but it also didn't have the brutality of like War Party.
Right, I know. Well, that's my thing though. I don't like the too heaviness of Gwar. I like the in betweenish kind of stuff.
See, I like it when Gwar does extremes though. Like as long as the music's good, I love the comedy of Gwar. But Gwar, when they go brutality, it's always good.
Yeah, sometimes. Bloody Pit of Horror.
My favorite Gwar album.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I will say this: that album definitely brought Gwar to some kind of commercial prominence because they went on Jimmy Fallon's show when he was on The Late Show to promote it, where they did Zombies March and Hail Genocide.
Yup.
And Fangoria, actually, they were the ones to debut the video for Zombies March. And I like the album a lot. Is it my favorite of the Smooth Dirk's guitar lineup? No, but it doesn't mean it's a bad album. I thought that the guitar playing on it was amazing. The fact that they actually used 8-string guitars for the first time ever,
Right.
that was pretty cool. I thought they did a great job on Zombies March. So I would say that this is my favorite opening track on a Gwar album.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It doesn't quite beat Ham on the Bone for me as far as
No. Nothing's going to be Ham on the
What
Bone.
is
Well, I love
Also,
zombies,
and
so I'm biased.
Send off for Corey Smoot? This is a great fucking album. But I love every song on this album. I think they're
Really?
Tick Tits is some of the most disgusting right there that Dave Brockie has ever written. Some of those disgusting shit. I love it.
I heard a rumor, though, that Corey Smoot wrote these songs not to present them to Gwar, but to do something different with them. And what happened was it just ended up working with Gwar. So
Really?
I heard that as a rumor somewhere.
The Litany of the Slain is cool. It kind of reminds me of Mermaider by Death Clock.
Mm.
Which,
Tick-tit.
if Dave Brockie hung out with Brendan Small, that would make all the sense in the world. Because I can hear Death Clock on Battle Maximus as well. But
it's a shame we never had a Death Clock Gwar crossover.
yeah, exactly, they're meant for each other.
I agree with that.
The problem is you have all this fake blood flying around, and Death Clock needs their giant screen.
Right. You want to get blood on that. Lyrics on Tick Tits. Well, have you seen her tits? When they're covered in ticks, it's shit like that makes monks shag their wicks. Say, have you seen her ticks? Sucking on her tits. Not even dog tits are better than this. Unless, of course, they are covered in ticks.
And he says it so. You know the funny thing is,
So fast.
at Brockie's funeral, Michael Bishop came out and said that when they went to the '92 Grammys, and Dave Brockie was like a huge geek, sci-fi geek, Dungeons and Dragons geek, and Bishop totally threw him under the bus. And he said that at the '92 Grammys, they ran into Patrick Stewart. So from across the room, Brockie yells out, "Jean-Luc Picard, as I live and breathe." And apparently Patrick Stewart got a kick out of this, laughed, and yelled back at him, "Someone should do Shakespeare." You know, I mean, I thought that Brockie is the consummate entertainer performer.
Yes.
You know, because he knows how to get a reaction. And he does it. He did it with finesse. He did it with, yes, I said finesse.
Oh,
He did it with ease. He did it like it was second nature to him. There'll never be another Brockie.
Kev, even though this is a Casey Orr song, Beat You to Death is like the best Blothar song, in my opinion. And Michael Bishop does it fantastically live. Because for some reason, Casey Orr sounds a lot like Michael Bishop.
Not too far. I mean, I could see
He
each
sounds
doing
like
their songs.
Michael Bishop, like off of Battle of or Blood of the Gods. For a while there, I thought it was Michael Bishop because they thought it was him. But Beat You to Death, I love that song. Just that ending of I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. It's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of more comedy, You Are My Meat is hysterical. Just then you become shit and expelled out my ass.
By the way, we didn't mention that Beefcake, the role of Beefcake, was played by Todd Evans in for War Party and Beyond Hell, and I thought he did a great job. But then he left Gwar to do his own project. Nate, do you remember the name of his band?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can find it. I think I remember it. I should have it somewhere.
I did.
Keep talking.
Too many bands to go through, but my thing of Bloody Pit of Horror, again, coming from Lust of Space, where it was already starting to dip down again for me, this album dipped down again for me even more. I just listened to this the other day just to get a refresher, and I couldn't remember liking really any songs on this.
Really?
Yes, I mean, there's the Zombies March. It was okay, but it was kind of weird because why is Gwar talking about zombies? A zombie song, really. In Gwar.
Because vampires fucking suck. We know this.
Zombies are totally Gwar. They're diseased. They're stupid.
I
They
know,
eat people.
Gory.
but
It's perfect for Gwar.
it's a good song. It was just kind of weird to me.
Hail
Tick, tick.
Genocide is awesome.
None of these songs really do it for me at all. I don't
Mobile Death Camp. That's what it is. Mobile
know.
Death
Yes,
Camp.
I've heard of that. Yeah,
You really didn't like You Are My Meat?
I don't really remember it.
It's a slow song.
No, I don't remember it because it's just I don't know. That album just doesn't do nothing for me.
Litany of the Slain is awesome. I love it because they just describe every way they've murdered every celebrity up until then.
Mm-hmm.
Just the lyrics, Paris Hilton fucked a donkey.
But the unfortunate thing about this was it was the swan song of Corey Smoot because unfortunately he died of some kind of, I think it was cardiac arrhythmia en route to Canada in his sleep when they were on tour. So I can only imagine how hard that was for them. It's like, here's their guitar player, here's their friend, their brother, their fellow scum dog, passed away on the bus. It's like, and, the sad thing is, and, Ballsack brings this up in their cover of People Who Died, that his wife was pregnant at the time with their first child, their daughter, little Corey. So it's a shame that, he never got to see his baby born. So little Corey, we love you. And rest in peace, Corey Smoot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he died after the reopening show of First Ave here in Minneapolis. So
Really?
yeah, the First Ave closed for like a couple of years. That's like that's like the CBGB of like Lemoore of here. That's the big.
Oh, you mean First Avenue in Minneapolis?
Yeah.
Oh, that
the
Purple Rain was shot there.
They played the reopening of First Ave. They were the headlining band. That was Corey's last show.
Yeah, and that concert's actually available on YouTube, so you can watch his last performance, which is nice that it's there.
But I heard Brockie was very, very broken up about his passing because
You could tell.
They were really, really, I guess, pretty tight with each other,
Well, that was like his little brother. I mean, remember, Brockie at the time was 48. Corey was only 31. He was the youngest member in the band. So you could tell in interviews and performances, after that, you could tell he's kind of hitting the bottle a little hard. During the concerts, sometimes you're thinking, is he going through the motions? Is he slurring through the words? And if you watch the Axis Live concert, and he's doing the vocals, it's like, wait a minute, I can't decipher what he's saying. Because most of the time, even with the mask on, you can tell what he's saying.
Right.
But this is like, I don't think so. Like, I saw Yig, sounds like, yeah, you love me. Like, that's not horror of Yig.
Right. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know if when I did see Gwar, I don't remember what album it was for. I don't remember if Corey Smoot was there or not. Might have been after he died. It might have been for Battle, which is next, Battle Maximus.
Battle Maximus.
But yeah, when I saw them, like you said, it sounded. I really could not tell, even with the song "Sick of You." He wasn't really singing the song. He was just kind of shouting out words.
The syllables.
Yeah, which was very strange because I just figured, I'd never seen Gwar before, so I just figured it's loud. The music is loud, and you can barely hear Brockie to begin with the mask on, so I just figured that. But now that you mentioned that, maybe that could be why. I don't know. But even in the Battle Maximus thing, they have a little tribute to Corey Smoot in there, and they have, about his album at the time, which was called, his solo album, When Worlds Collide. And I guess you can maybe still buy it somewhere. And I don't know if you could still donate, but metalblade.com/Smoot Family Fund, maybe if it's still around, you can donate to the fund. I don't know.
Yeah. Bloody Bit of Horror, that's my 10 Gwar album. I fucking love that album.
Really? Well, you started with it, so.
Strikes every note for me. You hated PRI too, you fascist. So.
I know I mentioned in the previous episode that America Must Be Destroyed. That was the first Gwar album I ever bought. It's the one that's the most special to me. But I think I could say that Battle Maximus is my favorite Gwar album.
It's a fucking awesome album. Madness at the Core of Time is like my second favorite Gwar opener after Ham on the Bone.
I mean, when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute. Like, this sounds like a band that's hungry again.
Yeah.
And the title track itself, the instrumental, I mean, you had, former Flatus Maximus has come back to pay tribute. You have Pustulus, Brett Ferguson, who does such an amazing job. I mean, have you seen his videos on YouTube of him playing? He's amazing. Like,
I haven't seen it.
Hands down, my favorite Gwar guitarist. Zach Blair came back for that. I think even Mark Morton of Lamb of God actually cut a solo on that album. And Todd Evans, the former Beefcake the Mighty, came back and helped out on that track. So it's the title track itself and the album itself as a whole, a wonderful tribute to Corey Smoot. And it's a testament to the band Gwar. And it's like, to me, it's them saying, you think we're down, but we're not. Fuck you, we're here. And I love them for it.
Right. And, like, as much as I love and adore Corey Smoot, it's like, and he brought Gwar back to life, basically.
Mm-hmm. He did.
It's just, Husty, he fits Gwar. His style is perfect for Gwar, even more so than Corey. Because it's dirtier, it's a little more erratic, and it's got like that Pantera-esque tone because he uses a Dean Razorback.
He does. I think his main guitar at one point was the War Ghoul. I forgot who made it though.
Yeah.
But this is someone who said his two favorite bands are the Ramones and Motorhead.
Right.
Perfect for Gwar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I loved him in Cannabis Corpse before Gwar, but like in Gwar, he's fantastic, and he's totally in the role too. He's just as adopted to the role as like, I mean, he hasn't been as pusty as long as Dave was Odorous or Mike was Beefcake or Blothar, but
well, also he
Michael was it's like the early 2000s too. Blothar's been around for a while.
He was also friends with Corey, and Cannabis Corpse opened up for Gwar before he joined the band when Corey was still alive. So, I'm glad that they chose him.
Well, yeah, and I've seen that, of course. I mean, I know, because landfills in municipal ways. They're a bigger, the band that's at least out and touring outside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on it, Wayne?
Again, still, it's okay. A lot of stuff. I really actually have to listen to this album again because I don't remember a lot of this stuff. I know Amanda's at the Core of Time. I remember that song.
That song is insane.
Well, again, I think the biggest problem with the album itself is the production of it because it
Right.
sounds a little compressed. But the songs, I think, hold up.
They followed the sun. That's brutal.
Oh yes, I remember that song. Yes, that song is a good one. I remember that one now.
Which one?
They Swallowed the Sun.
iPhone Snapper is great.
Mm-hmm.
Right at Birth is
I
great.
don't know why I can't remember a lot of these.
I like Triumph of the Pig Children.
I just listen to this. That's how terrible I am sometimes at some of this stuff.
Fallen was interesting. They went somewhere that they didn't go before with that. And the final song on the album was actually the tour they released that they went on after Odorous passed away. That's what they opened up with. Fly Now. They opened up with that. It was a video montage of Odorous flying through space. I think it was footage from the Lust in Space video or something. And, it was a touching tribute to him and a nice way for the fans to say goodbye to him. Because then after that, Blothar came out and took over.
Yeah. But as you already mentioned now, this is I guess the swan song of Odorous Urungus. Says he passed away. How much longer after that was released? I don't think it was that long.
It was March of 2014, and this came out in September of 2013.
Yeah, so it wasn't that much longer after that was released.
Yeah. Public service announcement: don't do heroin.
Why?
Opiates.
As you could tell, it makes a lot of great albums.
No, it really doesn't.
Okay,
But you know what though? I would have never thought of Brockie as a heroin addict.
I never did either, but then going back and realizing what a lot of the lyrics and stuff was about, I could see it.
Well, I mean, but I thought that most of that stuff was in jest anyways. I didn't think they really smoked crack.
No,
And they
what
probably
Michael
don't smoke
Bishop
crack.
said-
Probably not.
What Michael Bishop said is Dave was not a regular heroin user.
Mm.
So he didn't really know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Fucked it up.
So a lethal dose was just what took him.
That's it.
And that's a shame. I mean, I know that if you do a drug like cocaine, if you do a certain amount of it when you're in your 20s, and you do the same amount of it 30 years later, it's going to kill you because your body won't be able to withstand that much.
Right.
You can get that information from any medical website. So I can't even think of, the compound amount that Brockie injected into himself that took him out. And I remember I was fucking heartbroken when I found out about this. It killed me.
It was probably my. Oh God, the most. How am I supposed to say this? Out of all the musicians that has died, his affected me the most, I think.
Because we grew up with him.
Right. And just watching all his videos and just seeing that now all of, the things that he has done over the years that I've, like you just said, since because I've grown up with him, all that stuff's gone now. It'll never be as funny ever again.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what kills me so much because he is Gwar, Obviously, everybody in the band is Gwar, but Dave Brockie is Gwar, and Gwar just will never ever be the same. But hopefully they stay on forever, because after Brockie died, and then Mike Bishop came back as vocalist and everything, and they put out the what the hell is this called?
Blood of God.
The Blood of Gods. They put out the Blood of Gods. And
Great album.
Great album.
It's a great album.
It is a great album. I can actually remember a lot of the songs on this one because a lot of it is catchy. A lot of songs are different from each other. It's
a rock and roll album.
Yeah, it's not a thrash album. What?
My favorite songs go to Viking Death Machine. Fuck This Place.
Yes, Fuck This Place is a very excellent song. El Presidente is a great song.
That's a good song.
Uh,
Death to Dickie
Death to Dickie Duncan's hilarious.
Phantom Limb.
Love it.
Great
That's a
song.
great
That's a
song.
tribute to Brockie. So It's an awesome album.
I'll Be Your Monster. I'm not a fan of the song, but the video is hysterical.
Yeah.
And also, they've been getting back to their antics. Like, remember when they went up to the top 40 charts and demanded Blood of Gods be placed on the top of every list?
Oh yeah,
Like the hip hop chart. They can't even get into the elevator because Michael Bishop's like shoulder antlers are too big. Stupid shit like that. I love it.
By the way, so Jameson Land took over the beefcake role from Casey with Battle Maximus. And the funny thing is, at the time, Gwar was entered into a licensing deal with Mount Baker Vapor, who created vapes for electronic cigarettes. And when I do the blues now, but when I was doing the cloud vaping, let me tell you, those Gwar flavors were amazing. My favorite was I can't believe I'm going to say this, the Gizmoglobin.
Of course, you'd love that one.
Chocolate beef cake, it tasted like chocolate cake. It was amazing. Yeah. And Bloodbath, which is a fruit punch. So, and I remember for a while they were, they were endorsed by Mount Baker Vapor. They were a sponsor of Barbecue for many years. And I don't know if they still have the licensing deal with them.
I still
now.
think they do. Last time I checked, they were still on the online shop. Not that I vape anymore, but I was curious.
Well, that was a great licensed product for Gwar. I think that actually garnered them some extra revenue. So
what
good
pisses
stuff.
me off, though, is that they can get all these great licensing deals with like all these weird fucking things, and they still can't fucking get patches at shows. Like, goddamn.
They really don't have patches?
They had a sign up that said, "We have no patches, don't even ask." I'm like, bro, I love this band. I already have 2 shirts. I want something else.
There's got to be bootleg ones, though, no? Ain't there?
Yeah, and there's old
You probably make them.
too, but you know.
But what they really do need, and because I'm a big collector of figures, I need Gwar figures.
Oh, if they come out with Gwar Funko Pops, I'm definitely buying 5 copies of Ballsack. Trust me.
I got the 2 statues, but Odorous doesn't really look that well, and I need something
buying Funko Pops until they at least give Slayer a drummer. Literally, the Slayer Funko Pop set is Kerry King,
I know.
Hanneman, and Tom Araya.
Yeah, that's
Kerry King is.
What the fuck? Like, there's not even Paul Bostaff, let alone Dave Lombardo. It's like fucking Metallica one where it's got like old 90s jams,
right?
90s Lars, 90s Kirk, and then like Rob.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd prefer Cliff, but they could have at least had the decency to put Jason there.
Yeah, they could have done something.
Maybe they would have the collectible set.
Well, did you guys see the Rush Funko Pops that were released? Getty's nose is huge.
Really? Well,
I'm just like, of course they had to give him a huge nose.
But getting back to Gwar,
yes.
Did you think they were going to continue after Odorous died? I mean, he always said that the band's going to continue on forever because anybody
He's been saying that since Where Are They Now in 1999. So yeah, I'm not surprised. You know, I mean, it makes sense for them to retire characters when they passed on playing a significant role with the character. I mean, you know, Flatus, they retired Flatus, they retired Odorous. So yeah, it makes sense that they would continue on. And I think that's okay. It's not like...
Yeah.
I mean, if there's one thing I have to say about Gwar, and this is going to sound insane, but they are probably one of the more ethical bands that have come out because I think they've always done things the right way. You know, like, yes, up until Corey came in, like, you know, you played the character. But the thing about that era of Gwar from 2004 till 2011 was that they owned their characters. Corey was Flatus. Flatus was Corey. Yeah. So I give them all the respect in the world for saying, you know what? To honor the guy that we lost, we retire the character, we move on, we move to the to the next one because we don't want to cheat the fans because they're not stupid. They know.
It's also way harder to do with frontmen than guitar players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they do that. Plus, the fact that they've been the one band that's never, and I can say this beyond a shadow of a doubt, never overcharged their fans for tickets to their concerts.
Right.
And that's something that they've had in their ethos since day one. You know, even going back to the Scumdog days.
Yeah.
And, you know, I give them all the credit in the world for sticking to their guns, being successful at it, and just doing things the right way. So, yeah, I'm not surprised they continued, and I'm happy for it.
I'd pay $50, but I'd pay half that.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
For the production effort they put in, they deserve to, like, charge $50
you know, yeah. You know when you go to a Gwar show. Yeah. You know when you go to a Gwar show, you're gonna get a good show. You know, and you're gonna come out not the same way you went in either.
Usually a pretty good lineup too.
What?
I've never seen Gwar with a bad lineup either.
No.
I mean, the first Gwar show wasn't the best, but Ringworm and Hatebreed were okay. Last Gwar show had the best lineup. That was like Sacred Reich and like Toxic Holocaust openings, so that was awesome. And Against the Grain, but they were only okay.
I don't know who opened up for when I saw them, but that was a really cool show when I saw them, and it was one of the last shows that Brockie ever did. So, well, that I ever saw.
Never got to see Brockie, but I love Michael.
Yeah, that was cool seeing Brockie, and I didn't want to go in the front. I was with a friend, and of course he had to go in the front, and he came out. He was fucking completely drenched from head to toe, and I said, "There's no way you're getting in my car."
Yeah, stay out in the streets. Get out of my car.
Yeah. So thankfully, some reason I had a towel.
There's always the post-Gwar show tradition of going to the gas station and getting weird looks from the fucking cashier.
Right. The cool thing, I don't know if they still do it or not, but they sell at the show I went to. They sold a white shirt, and then when you so they still do it. Yeah, when you get shot with the stuff, it comes out on the shirt like the design. There's a design that's on the shirt, and when you get shot, they didn't have that.
No.
Oh, really? Yeah. So like
Scumdog's shirts, so you know you can see it splatter.
Oh no! When it's just a plain white shirt, it looks like. But then when you get shot with all the stuff, an image comes out onto the shirt.
That's cool.
Yeah.
By the way, do you know what?
Cool shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what makes up the contents of what they spray into the audience?
Isn't it Kool-Aid and water?
No, it's a seaweed powder.
Seaweed powder.
It's a seaweed powder that. So before, people used to think, "Oh my God! Like, how did they get away with staining everything like blood red? Like, what kind of concoction are they using? Is it the same blood that they use for like movies and stuff like that?" No, they're smart. They do is they buy seaweed powder, food coloring, add water, have 150-gallon pressurized tanks, behind the stage, or they're pressing onto it. So yeah, it gets all over you, but you can just wash it out.
Right, it's washable.
So this,
I had to rinse it out because I didn't want a pink Voivod patch.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's really cool the way they do that. And one thing I did forget to mention though was that when Brockie was in the band, he made it a point to really support the Richmond, Virginia scene. Even though he said he hated it, he tried to give like people who were into it for the art of it, whether it was music or sculpture or film or whatever, he tried to give them the time of day. Yeah. So, when I heard that supposedly there was a petition to remove the statue of Robert E. Lee in Richmond, Virginia, with the statue of Oderus. Now, I'm not a political guy, but I love history. But would I want a statue of Oderus Urungus? Fuck yeah, I would.
A 6-foot-tall statue of Oderus Urungus in the middle of town.
With the cuttlefish of Cthulhu hanging between the legs.
It's literally clear 2 lanes of traffic, and like the entire shoot, it's basically a centerpiece of the town, shoots onto that fucking Robert E. Lee statue. It would be like, literally, it would be like a giant, it'd be like those fucking Superman memorial statues in the comics, but with Dave Brockie. And aesthetically be like that. That's how, fucking out in the air perfectly aesthetically it would fit.
Yeah, it would. And it should be there because, he's Virginia, It's what they're known for.
By way of Canada.
That's right.
Did you know that, by the way? Did you know that he was born in Canada and adopted and moved to Virginia?
Yes, I did read that in the book. Yes, I did. Forgot about that. Well, I'm glad you thought of doing this show, though. I give you credit. This was all your idea to do a Gwar show.
No, I thank you. Well, Gwar has been one of my favorite bands for a very, very long time. I never had the pleasure of seeing them live. I would love to one day when they tour and when concerts are available again. And, I just wanted to spotlight a group that I feel, although respected and loved and appreciated, I think they deserve a lot more credit than they get. And, the loss of certain members definitely affected me as a fan and as a musician. I love Corey's playing. I love Dave Brockie as an entertainer. So rest in peace to them. Thank you to the effort of every past Gwar member, especially Hunter Jackson, Daniel Stamp, and Chuck Varga. Welcome
Michael
back, Don Drakulich.
Michael Bishop, too, even when he wasn't in the band, was behind the scenes a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one thing
and I was going to salute the current bandmates. So that would be Mike Dirks, Brad Roberts, Michael Bishop, Brent Ferguson, and Casey Orr. Welcome back, Casey Orr. And salute to Bob Gorman, freaking Bone Snapper himself.
Yes. What I didn't think to mention either after Brockie died, and there was they got the band back together, and they added a woman to the band.
That was Volvatron. That was Kim Delia. So apparently what happened there was, so they went on tour with her, but apparently they said that her services were no longer needed because apparently, according to Brent Pusty, said that Kim was hitting the bottle too hard, and they said that it was affecting her performance. And there's a rule: you can drink, but don't get drunk before you perform, because then it just makes the show look bad.
Right.
And Brent did not want to announce this on social media, except Kim kind of brought it out on metalsucks.net, which, by the way, I fucking hate that website.
Yeah, fuck Metal Sucks.
Metal Cucks is more like it.
Hashtag got 'em.
So that's what happened there. And, look, would it be cool to have a woman in Gwar? Absolutely. Danielle Stamp set the blueprint. Danielle set the blueprint.
Right.
Now, I think anyone who fulfills a role as a member of Gwar has to step up the game. And if you're just there for the sake of being there, sorry.
Yeah, that's what it kind of seemed like when she joined the band. It was kind of like they didn't know what to really do with her, and it was a little strange. I was interested to see where it would have went, but what's that?
They did that Pet Shop Boys cover. That was all right.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
That was all right.
But it's she wasn't the right pick. Michael Bishop, 100% the perfect pick.
Yeah, they couldn't have chosen any better.
He's the only person who, in any kind of leadership role, who has the musical talent to front Gwar. Really.
Yeah.
Michael Bishop?
Balzac's a silent character for the most part. Balzac's been silent since the Gwar music video.
Yeah.
But he is. I do love him. Balzac is my favorite.
Balzac's my favorite too.
Nice.
It's but yeah, he doesn't talk very much.
No.
He'd be cool as a front man because he's 8 feet tall with the stilts on, He's Peter Steele height.
By the way, there's also I managed to actually befriend 2 members of Gwar on my Facebook. Cool. Scott Crawl, who everyone remembers him as the balding slave, or as he is most famous for performing on record, he was Skullhead Face. And Matt McGuire, who is known for playing Matron, the slave with the mask. And he's Sawborg Destructo. So big shout out to those two guys as well.
Yeah, he's the one who always has basically a diaper on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like their one on-stage roadie, essentially, who's like in front, you know?
Yeah.
You know what, though?
That's
Good.
that's the one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah, because he had the mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I didn't know if there were like 50, like roadies running around in their underwear with the same mask on.
No, I'm gonna. Oh, that's not a really good picture of him here. I don't know. I know who you're talking about, though.
I love Sawborg. I love watching him fight with Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so since the quarantines are going on, Gwar's actually been doing every Sunday night to do live from Antarctica, which is sort of like a Zoom thing that they do where, it's Sleazy P. Martini hosting it, and, Sawborg comes in, Pussy does it. I think they just had...
Cancer Bad on recently.
Yeah, Blothar was just recently on it, and every week they speak with different musicians. Like, they had Tesco V from the Meat Men as a guest. They had the singer of Cancer Bats. So they're trying to get a lot done. Oh, and Jizmac does hilarious videos, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I love his videos.
I love it when he was trying to ride an electric scooter for the first time. He's like, I can't do this. He's like, throws it down.
I love everything he does. I think he really gets the whole online outreach thing.
Oh, he's great. And that video where he thanked Dave Grohl for the kind words for Oderus, I thought that was class act. Mm. And by the way, Wayne, I know you being a drummer, I don't know how you feel about this. I think Brad Roberts is probably one of the most underrated drummers that's out there. I mean, everything about him, I love his what he plays, how he sounds, what he plays. He's just great.
Yeah. Every
Filthy Animal was an actual thrash metal drummer.
Yeah. No, he's insane, man. I hear some of the shit that he does. I'm like, I don't even understand it. It just blows my mind, some of the stuff that he plays.
And he's not even a big guy. He's like large size. So.
Yeah.
You guys frozen?
A little bit. No, you are. Yeah. Well,
okay. Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah. So let's end the show before the connection gets any worse. But that is Gwar. We love Gwar. We hope for another album, and maybe we'll get to see them live soon. As long as all the
yes, we need to see live shows.
That's right. Wear the masks.
You know what? If Wayne, I know we live in the same area. Well, not in the same town, but we live in the same state. If Gwar ever comes, we should see if we could try to get an interview with them for the show, or at least a station ID or something.
We'll have to do something.
I hit myself, dude.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I still know some people at Metal Blade, so I'll see if I could work that out for us.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
So you heard it here. If I don't deliver, they're gonna stick a 3-foot double-sided dildo up my ass. Anyways,
no, we will not.
I love Black and Huge.
We don't do that kind of stuff around here.
RatSaladReview.com.
Okay. But we do sell T-shirts that you can buy, and you can also hear Lou Mavs on his show, Music is Life, and you can also subscribe to Nate's band, Major Malfunction, as a dysfunction. That's the show.
What is your major dysfunction, boy?
And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, please. We're almost at 400 subscribers. Maybe by this time this episode is up, it'll be 400. We're at 393, I think, right now.
We're going to lose subscribers when they see the DRI episode, I swear to God.
Probably. We'll lose subscribers once I stop doing Team Tolkien.
So, yes, like and comment. And Wayne, thank you for taking my idea and making a 2-episode Gwar retrospective out of this. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I had a blast. Thank you for having me.
A lot of fun. So we will see you guys next week. Adios. Goodbye.
Cheers.
Ha! I got you. We didn't leave yet. Look who's here. Greg.
It's happening.
You finally showed up.
Sort of, yes, finally.
I'm sorry I badmouthed you on this the beginning of this episode, but forgive me.
That's okay. I'm not going to watch it anyway. So
I figured. So I figured I could just get away with saying anything, and you wouldn't know.
yeah, well, I mean, unless you tell me what you said, I probably won't know. So,
I don't remember. I just thought it was funny.
well, I highly doubt it was like something horrible where I wouldn't want to do the show anymore. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think it was that bad. Who knows though? I don't know. You millennials.
Nah.
Where you millennials are.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You know, if it was coming from Nate, I'd believe it. Just especially after summer camp there. But
No, I would never say nothing that bad.
I still can't believe that. But anyway, yeah, no. Fuck, my mind just went back. Oh yeah, talking about Gwar. So. Well, I guess you guys pretty much covered their whole career.
We covered every album pretty much. We didn't go through like the DVDs and stuff like that, but we just added like, concerts and things that we saw and all the albums pretty much. So
yeah. Well, I actually first discovered, I'm just going to do the story about Mike now because I actually met Mike Bishop pretty soon after I first heard of Gwar.
Really?
Yeah. I can't remember if it was Hello or No. My buddy Adam and his brother Jesse, my other buddy, they were watching the VHS of Live from Antarctica and Phallus in Wonderland. I'm like, the fuck is this? This is ridiculous. This is awesome. This is completely absurd. Yeah. It's I love people trying to review Phallus in Wonderland like it's a seriously major motion picture.
I've never seen it. I never seen any of the DVDs. I have one. I found it the other day. Not there, but I don't know where it went.
Phallus in Wonderland kind of has a loose plot connecting it, kind of like America Must Be Destroyed has a loose plot running throughout with the Morality Squad and all that, and basically, it's 5 music videos with some in-between scenes.
Yeah. One day I'll get it. What the hell? What the hell do I have? Oh, there it is. The Rendezvous with Ragnarok is the DVD I have. I never watched it.
I was going to say, I don't think I've seen that one.
Although I did watch something very disturbing.
What's that?
Lou showed me the oh crap, what the hell video was it? It was for Black and Huge original video.
Oh, yeah. Yep, yeah.
I mean, it's not shocking, coming from Gwar, but watching that, it's like
no, it's not shocking because it's them, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. I was telling my wife about it, and she was just kind of like, what the hell? So I found the video, and I showed her the video, and she's like, how does anybody listen to this? Well, why would you listen to this stuff? You can't take it seriously.
No, but that was the thing about it, just re-listening to some of it, too. Like, I have such good memories attached to the first few albums that I can usually spin them. But generally, I have to be in the mood, just because some of the lyrics, it's like I said, it's almost like Kiss. It gets cringeworthy if you're not in the mood for it.
Right. Yeah,
but I like both bands. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you met Mike Bishop.
Yeah. So anyway, watching Phallus in Wonderland and Live from Antarctica, and then I think Adam played me Hello, Scumdogs, shit like that, and then I was watching a bunch of other different videos. I think Ragnarok, maybe, whichever one had Meat Sandwich on it. Yeah. They did that video, and I had seen that on TV, and that was pretty cool. But talking to Adam, because he grew up in that area in Virginia and Maryland and all that during that time period. He was like, "Oh yeah, fucking hey, you want to do something cool? We'll go hang out with Beefcake." I'm like, "What?" He's like, yeah, Mike, Beefcake the Mighty. So we went up to his house and hung out with him and bullshitted. Hung out with him a couple times, just talking music, smoked a little weed, shit like that. But he gave me a copy of Hello with the original comic book. That was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but really neat guy, really cool guy, but out of costume looked nothing like I expected him to. That kind of blew me away at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I never saw him until Brockie died, and then he was at the funeral.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
he wasn't in Gwar then when
right.
when I met him. Yeah, I think Casey Orr was playing bass from Rigor Mortis. I think he might still play bass. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Because Bishop's doing Odoris's spot. But anyway.
Yep. Yep, he's still there.
But yeah, no, it's funny because I hung out with him a few times, but other than the first time I met him, we really didn't talk about Gwar a whole lot.
What'd you talk
more
about?
Just his influences and shit like that, different music that we were into. A lot of punk stuff. I actually learned of quite a few punk bands from Mike because I mentioned how Hello was my favorite because it was so punk and crossover influenced. I think Mike Bishop introduced me to Agnostic Front, actually. Come to think of it, yeah.
Oh.
Not that they're really punk, they're crossover, but whatever. Anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him. So that was pretty cool. And then, like I said, he gave me the record, and I just, we weren't really friends. I hung out with him a few times.
Yeah.
But he was still, he was a cool dude. Now he showed me some old pictures and shit like that. It was a good time. And, it was neat hearing the history. Well, now you can go online and read about anything, but it was neat hearing about, like, the history of Gwar and how they started off as Death Piggy and the Slave Pit was originally making the movie Scumdogs of the Universe, and Gwar started off as the opening joke band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool, because there's a book, Let It Be Gwar. So I was reading that, trying to read most of that before we were doing the show. And, of course, I forgot everything I read. But the few things that I did remember was about how they started with the Scumdogs thing. And Brockie basically stole all the costumes and made his own band out of it and took the whole thing over.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. So Hello's your favorite one, huh?
Yeah, Hello and Scumdogs. I like those two the best. They're pretty even, but I don't know. I like the punkier edge to Hello the best. It's just cool. It's really a crossover record, and then Scumdogs is pretty much all thrash, and then I don't know. America Must Be Destroyed. I like what they do with it, but there's a couple songs that don't particularly work for me during certain parts. They tried to do a little too much, but I still like it a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites. Like we were talking about Hello, because my first one was America Must Be Destroyed, and then I think I got Scumdogs after that, and then I just got Hello. I didn't even know Hello was out, and then I just ended up seeing it somewhere. I guess it got reissued by Metal Blade.
Huh. And, they did. They reissued it in '92. I think it was.
Yeah, it was around the time I got it. And then listening to it, I was just kind of shocked, as I told the other guys, because it was just such a huge difference from the type of music they were playing, and even the sound, like how it was recorded and everything. It didn't even sound like Gwar, It was just weird.
Yeah, I suppose if you're like, America Must Be Destroyed and that era and all that going back, because I don't know, Scumdogs and Hello sound like the same band.
Yeah,
it's a little bit more refined, but But come on, dude! I'm in love with a dead dog. Could totally fit anywhere on Scumdogs of the Universe.
Of course, it could.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they actually never went back and re-recorded that album. Make it the production better, and just they can play the songs obviously the same way, but just make it sound better. They probably wouldn't capture the same vibes that they had when they recorded it originally, but maybe they can make it sound better. But yeah, Hello was very strange, but it grew on me. And actually, when I first bought it, I had it for a little while, and I was just like, I just don't really like it that much. And I made a copy of it on cassette because back then that's when cassettes were still kind of big for me because I really didn't have a CD player, and
Right.
and then I sold the CD off. I'm like, I'm not going to ever really listen to this ever again because I just really don't like it. But then years later, I became a completist and I have to own everything, so I ended up rebuying it. So.
Hmm.
And also, too, Gwar is one of my favorites, so I gotta make sure I have at least all the albums, you know.
I have to say, I'll pick up Bloody Pit of Horror at some point. I really enjoyed that one, but I'm pretty happy with the 5 I have.
Yeah. Have you heard the last one, the newest one?
Well, isn't that Bloody Pit of Horror?
No. What the hell's the name of that? It is. I am so terrible with remembering anything. Oh, the Blood of the Gods.
Oh, yeah, I did hear that one too.
Yeah.
I got confused which one came out when, but yeah. No, those two I'll probably end up getting at some point, but after Ragnarok, I didn't really care for most of their studio albums in that time period. I mean, I saw them live a few times throughout them, but
yeah. That's when we were doing the original show. That's how everybody was saying. Like after Ragnarok, I mean, as it started getting towards Ragnarok, it started the musicianship kind of started to fall a little bit, and even the lyrics and some things just were getting like out of hand. I could tell with the band, and then after Ragnarok, it just kind of just went like all over the place. And even on one of the albums, Brockie barely sang half of the songs, and it just got kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, you can really like hear the strain and hear it falling apart on Ragnarok. I mean, the songs I like on it, I really like, and that's why I still consider it like part of that classic period. But it's not even as good as the two that preceded, and even this Toilet Earth is a little.
Yeah. That's another thing we were saying too. Is like we liked half of the albums on those two. So.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I hesitate to say that they're necessarily bad songs on America Must Be Destroyed, but there's just a couple things that don't particularly work for me. And I can't remember the one song I'm thinking of right now. I'll have to look it up later.
Morality Squad. Have you seen me? That's like a classic Gwar song.
No, that's not it. I don't know.
I don't know what it could be because that's like almost a 10 for me.
Nah, I'd have to fucking look it up. I don't.
Gilded Lily, poor old Tom, Rock and Roll Never.
I don't know. Read it in beginning from first track to last.
Ham on the Bone, Crack in the Egg, Gwar, Have You Seen Me, Morality Squad, America Must Be Destroyed, Gilded Lily, Poor Old Tom.
I think it's actually the title track. Where
it's just music, and then there's like sounds put in throughout it, like things taken from movies, and I guess.
Yeah. I hate that song.
Like an instrumental
album. I don't. That one ruins the whole flow of the album for me.
Yeah, I like that one.
Poor Old Tom has a couple of parts in it that overall I like the song. There's weird little sections on there where, like I said, it's kind of the kitchen sink record for them.
What about The Road Behind? Because Nate had a problem with that song. Was not
really? I love The Road Behind. I think it's fucking hilarious. And a great idea.
It's an awesome song. I don't know why he really didn't like it that much.
I mean, they did exactly what they set out to do, but the funny part of it is musically they really made it sound like a fucking power ballad.
Right.
And I thought that was brilliant. I mean, you can see like Bad English or Firehouse or one of them other fags doing something like that.
Yeah.
Like Nelson, the Nelson brothers. There you go. Just total late 80s, early 90s over excess.
Yeah, exactly.
Not with the same lyrics, but
right.
Obviously. So.
Yeah.
But I noticed that looking at things online because it's funny because the few things that bothered me, some people, and really Gwar is performance art. I
Right.
feel like the way they go so deep with it, and it's very similar to Alice Cooper. But so I expected people to be looking at it on a deeper basis, and oh yeah, I didn't like the little technical things that irked me. But no, most people just hate the road behind.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
strange. That's such a good song.
Oh, the lyrics are funny, but it's like they can't stand the fact that it actually sounds like what it's supposed to mock, and that's the
Right.
joke.
Yeah.
Like, if the fact that it sounds like a power ballad bothers you that much, just shut up.
It is true. Anything else you want to add?
Everybody should see them live in the front row at least once, but not my thing anymore.
No.
No, I thought it was cool the first time, but covered in fluids, not so cool.
Now, where did you see them? Do you remember?
That would have been, I believe that was Jack's down in Springfield, Virginia.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that would have been really cool then. Right in the backyard, pretty much.
Yep. Yeah, it was a fun show, hometown show.
What year was that? Do you remember?
2001, 2002. It was right after they had that little break I think you were talking about.
Oh, okay.
Came back.
Oh,
Yeah.
so, yeah, all right. Now, the stage show was still pretty crazy.
Yeah. It was, and the album was really over the top too, which Violence Has Arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say, yeah.
And
I've got good memories of that one just because, I saw them. I met Mike around that time and listened to it a lot, but that album didn't hold up as well as I had thought it did when I re-listened to it. I have to say it's got some good points on it, but I remembered it being a lot stronger than it was.
Yeah, like we discussed that too, and Nate loved it, but it was good for them to get back into doing the heavier stuff because they, like I said, they got so silly on those last two albums before that, and then getting back into like the heavier music and almost thrash like stuff that they had on that album. But just they were just missing something like there just wasn't no melodic things because Gwar has a lot of melodic things in there, even with Brockie's vocals, even with the guitar solos and things like that. There's a lot of things that we're missing out of that album. So, but
even that I could live without. I mean, I liked the return, the sound on it. It was just not a lot. A lot of the songs aren't particularly well written. I don't know. Right. Some of them kind of feel unfinished.
Yeah. That's it. And then the production was really bad. You can barely hear Otis's vocals on that, and it's just a mishmash of sounds, really. But after that, they started getting back into the groove of what Gwar is about. So, it was good.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, I really like the Bloody Pit of Horror and Blood of the Gods.
Yeah.
The two newest ones, I think. I don't know. Well, I read all this shit, and even, we'll be talking later from now, and I'll actually remember something me and Bishop fucking talked about that's interesting. But right now, I'm trying to think about it too hard, and I can't fucking remember.
I gotta write this stuff down. But if anybody has any stories they'd like to share with us, please share them in the comments. And I guess that's it. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. I got nothing else.
All right, we got nothing else. All right, ratsaladreview.com. Once again, please buy a t-shirt. And like I said, please write in the comments. Find us on Facebook and Twitter, rat_review. And we're also on Instagram.
And YouTube, subscribe.
Please subscribe to the YouTube. And
because if you don't, our God is a God of vengeance and wrath and action. Our God is a Native American that turns into a werewolf. So do what we say, or the wolfen will come for you.
Holy shit. Please do what he said. You do not want the wolf in here. You don't. All right. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.